Happy International Women's Day 2025. I'm Jo and welcome back to another episode of video on this channel. I'm filming this on the night of IWD because it just never stops being a day to celebrate women, right? I had a chill day, a wonderful day. I did not go anywhere. In fact, I spent, I think, almost all of my afternoon just napping, tossing and turning, and getting the much needed rest. So let's get into it. I've consumed a lot of videos, lots and lots of videos of women just celebrating other women in different capacities, be it people who had like action going on, others had walks, others had runs, others had brunch and dinners and every other thing, and other people, they were just participating online. They were sharing posters and I don't know, videos and items of women that they like. And I thought it was very interesting because someone was complaining, how is it that women always have like something going on and there's a lot that is 366 65 days. We choose 2 or 3. We could choose every day, but we've chosen 2 or 3, and I think that's cool. Someone wants to pick, let's pick a day. So the theme for this year is accelerate action, which I think is pretty cool because there's a lot that is going on when it comes to like gender disparity, when it comes to the pay gap and all the inequalities that happen when it comes to being a woman versus being a man. That conversation is not being a woman versus being a man. It's just the woman versus the problem, that is the gender gap and inequality and all the injustices that is happening to women. And I think it's quite a good time to talk about it. So just to keep it light, because I'm trying to be consistent with my videos, I did not come up with something really serious. I came up with like light stuff to talk about. I got a few things. The first segment is about the myths, and then the second segment is just, something light and bubbly, because why not? So I went on the internet to look for a couple of myths here and there, and I got a couple of them on YouTube, on ChatGPT. Yeah, like I said, if you was going to take my job, you're going to make my life easy, right? Yeah, right. So I looked for a couple of myths here and there, and the answers were saucy. I said, this cannot be the reason why Jesus died for me. This can't be the life that I was supposed to have. So I look at the myth, and then I'll give you a hint of what ChatGPT told me the bingo response was, and then of course I'll just talk about something that makes a little sense. So the first myth is that women are too emotional to be leaders. Ooh, I guess people are going out. It's a Friday night. To lose. So the first one is women are too emotional to be leaders. And the response that I got from ChatGPT is, I have literally cried. I have literally seen y'all cry over football matches. So I wonder who the emotionals are. I think that was very funny because it is true. I've seen people cry over matches, but if you look at it now in seriousness, being too emotional to become a leader, I believe that to become a good leader, you have to tap into your emotional side. Our emotions play a very integral role in how we show up in leadership positions, and leadership that begins with leading self and then leading a small community that is around you, and then now you can become a leader of maybe a country, a region, or even one of the most powerful countries, as they think they are, but that's a conversation for another day. So being able to tap into your emotions, being able to apply empathy where it is needed, to sympathize with someone, to be in a position where you are not going through it, but you're able to look at it from a point of what would be happening to me if I was the person who was dealing with this. I think that's a good thing. The greatest leaders, I think, that are able to tap into their empathy, and then they can lead communities. So if you're saying that someone is too emotional to lead, I don't think that is correct. I believe it's bullies who always make you think that, oh, you are such a crybaby. But if you leave that bully alone with the person they've been bullying, you are about to see who the crybaby is. So I'm glad it's a myth, and women have proven time and again that despite being called emotional, they still deliver, because I believe emotional intelligence plays a vital role in becoming a world-class leader. Next, women aren't as strong as men. And the answer I got from GPT was, we literally push babies out of our bodies and keep it moving. I think that was spot on. And if you think that's not enough, we bleed and don't die. That was funny as well. But then it really is the truth. It just happens, and you could be on your worst day and someone is just telling you, it's not, the first person this is happening to. Excuse me, it is happening to me and probably millions of other women right now. And society just has to function normally, which is pretty unfortunate. But I believe that strength is not only physical. Yes, oftentimes I think the average man is way stronger than the average woman when it comes to physical strength. That is correct. That is very true. Right now, if I try wrestling with like somebody who's 15 years old, they would definitely wrestle me to the ground. I can't compete with them, even despite having worked out for some time. Even when you just play tug of war with someone, they will wrestle you to the ground. But is that all that is important? I don't know, and I don't think so. Looking at it from a point of resilience, that is some sort of strength if you think about it. So I believe that strength is not only physical. When it comes to emotional strength, women go through a lot, and yet it's just like another Tuesday that we have to move on from what we have gone through. And I said earlier on that this is not a man versus woman thing, but of the many horror stories that have happened or I've heard that happen to women, it's usually in the hands of men. Women go through the most in the hands of men. Both physical, emotional, financial, spiritual abuse, it's always in the hands of a man. And somebody said, behind any woman who is incarcerated, there was a man involved. Pardon me. Women talk too much. So ChatGPT said, tell me who speaks the most when in meetings. Or at least studies show that women get interrupted more when they're having conversations with men in meetings. That's correct. But now when we are being objective about this issue, who are the leading hosts of podcasts right now? Even if you just think about the fact that everyone is just saying, please add more tax on podcast equipment, because moving on. And you see, it's only women talk too much because it was unpaid. Now you see men have podcasts and they have YouTube channels and all that stuff, and now it's cool to be a host or something because there's money coming off of it. Otherwise it would just be called gossip. And I know for certain there's an activist in my country, Kenya, called Noni Gadhoni, who always says gossip is very important. It is through gossip that you're going to find out if you're seeing the same man, the three of you. It is through gossip that we get to understand how society works against women, because now when we talk, we are able to share our experiences. You come to realize that this experience is not only unique to you, not only is it unique to you, it is a worldwide problem that now you remove yourself from the situation. At least you start to forgive yourself, telling yourself, oh, all right, I guess it's not so bad because at least I'm not alone. It is bad, but at least you're not alone. So women talking too much is just a way to keep us from sharing our experiences and at least figuring out. And if we're going to be paid to talk, I think we should do it. So the next myth is women cannot be funny. Wholeheartedly, no, before I wholeheartedly you to that. The response I got from ChatGPT is you have a weird sense of humor, therefore you don't see women to be funny. But wholeheartedly, I think women are quite funny. I consume a lot of comedy from women, even sitcoms, because I can relate to what they are going through. They could make light of a situation, but then I'm just like, if it were me, I would be bawling my eyes out. But I like the approach you're taking. Someone saying that they don't even consume male comedy because oftentimes it is rooted in either they're self-deprecating or they're talking weird about women. And I know and I understand that it's comedy, but comedy is art, and art is a mirror to the society. So telling me that women are not funny, I think that is just a myth. On a day-to-day basis, if you just look at women's mannerism, you could just sit down and see how a woman is conducting themselves, and it's just so funny. From the way with girl math, for example, I think girl math, that was embarrassing, but it was funny. You could be mad at you, and then you go and ask, can we talk about the reason why you're mad? And they tell you, honestly, I probably don't remember. You end up laughing about it, but while it's so very funny, it is funny. But the best line is, I think women are funny. I am funny. Women belong in the kitchen. The saucy answer actually was very accurate with what I wanted to say, because why is it that only like some of the top chefs are men? Is it that women belong in the kitchen, or it's unpaid labor? It's just cool when women are not paid for their labor. We opened a can of worms in that one, because now several service businesses that you see, they are cool. Let's talk about Mama Fua. Mama Fua is a service that provides laundry services. Laundromat but mobile, laundromat but make it convenient. We have chefs, we have chaperones or concierge, it's cool now, podcast hosts. It is cool now because money is being made from it, but before then it was just women's work. Being in the kitchen, now chefs are making money off of it. Being a chaperone, you're being paid to take care of somebody else's errands, right? Women just used to organize these things and take kids to school and organize how their dentist appointment were going to be booked and all that stuff. And they would even take care of their husband's appointments for them and make certain that they see that this person went to see the doctor. Now it is cool because someone is getting paid. Sus. Women don't understand sports. I think it just said something like Serena Williams and the GOAT, Simone Biles. By sports, you mean football? Because that is not the only sport out there. It is one of the sports, and I understand that it's one of the biggest sports, but it's not the only sport. In fact, there are so many sports, so many sports that women are participating in, but because men are not in those spaces, they're not as much as recognized. Myself, I'm not a big fan of football, but I love bodybuilding, and it's something that I really appreciate. It's a sport, but again, cries in Simone Biles. Women dressed to impress men. What did it tell me? I can't remember, but I know certainly that it highlighted that we need pockets, and that is true. Please, I just need pockets. And I don't want 4 pockets on my pants. Someone does that one more time, and I'm selling this country to the Chinese. Okay, I'm joking. I always say I'm joking. But we need pockets, for crying out loud. And what is the difference between maroon and burgundy? Do tell. I'll wait. Yeah. The next myth is women are bad in math and science. So there's women in STEM, and I'm sure that the S in STEM is science and the M is mathematics. So that's just a myth. We can just move on swiftly because surely women can't be successful without a man. So it highlighted Oprah Winfrey, highlighted Serena Williams, Rihanna. But I'm certain that one man cannot be responsible for the wealth of all women. It just cannot work. And women have just broken the barriers. All things put against women, and somehow we just maneuver. I have seen women start from work with very little and come out triumphant. So once again, this is just a myth, and I believe that anyone has the power to succeed in whatever they have decided to pursue. So once again, these are just myths, and I know on the other side of these myths are beautiful stories that are coming out of women doing incredible things for themselves and for the society around them and beyond. Even as we celebrate women today on the International Women's Day, I believe that we should celebrate each other every single day because, like I stated earlier on, it's always something stacked against a woman, waiting to put her down, waiting to embarrass her, waiting to underestimate them. And it's incredibly painful, but we stop being victims at some point and we just take matters into our own hands and figure it out like we always do. Once again, I am celebrating every woman out there, young or old, wise or not. Everyone deserves to be celebrated. Everyone has a story to tell, and everyone at the end of the day is just beautiful and deserves something out of it. Even while you go out there to celebrate the people you love, remember responsibility. It's you and your environment, and I think it is right. And women have this superpower of making very little into something big. We can stretch so little for so long. So again, I believe through storytelling we are able to work on environmental and climate action and things like that, because those are the things that are pressing us right now. Wherever you are as a woman, feel blessed, feel celebrated, and above all, there's always someone behind you. Once again, stay strong, use your mouth, and see you soon. Ciao.